it going, guys?
What's happening?
Not bad, all good. How are you?
Doing great. Really appreciate you guys coming on. Let's dive right into it. So when and how did you guys form?
So we are a four-piece. So we've also got the two of us here just now, and we are the two that kind of formed. So pre-COVID, me and Cal here were in a different band that had been together for about 6 years. COVID happened, and obviously the music industry kind of shut down, and that band kind of dissolved. And over the kind of lockdown years, we kept in touch.
Yeah.
You know, we were constantly in contact with each other. When we were allowed to go to houses, we'd go to see each other, blah blah blah. And
write a lot of things together.
Yeah, we ended up writing a lot more because we couldn't do anything else. And then from there, Cal kind of wanted to do a band again. I was at this point, I was kind of dabbling in like what could I personally do, but realized that I needed him. Like I couldn't do it without him. So we ended up putting a post up to try and get a bassist, and I reached out to our old drummer from our first band. We've had a few drummers, our original drummer, and I messaged him who'd been out of music for a while, and I was like, listen, we've got this project. Do you want to be involved? He was game, and then literally a friend of a friend on Facebook recommended our bassist, and 2 years later, here we are.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's one of the pros of COVID.
Yeah, it definitely helped us.
We were very bored, weren't we?
Yeah, I think COVID worked well in that the old band we learned a lot, and I wouldn't say anything I wouldn't regret anything.
Not at all.
It taught me a lot of things, but it was one of these ones where I think it was like a breakup that it was like you didn't want to lose, but you knew it was coming to an end, and COVID was kind of
it's a catalyst for it.
Yeah, it kind of done the job to end it, and allowed us both to kind of grow as well. And as I say, we learned a lot from it. We were in there for 6 years. We did touring, we did everything like that. It allowed us to
see the whole side of the music business.
Yeah, and kind of teach us from being kids to kind of adults and use that knowledge now for this band, and we definitely have.
That's awesome. Right on. So you guys released Sunflowers in October. How's the response been to it?
Sunflowers, it was we raised, so it was a charity song dedicated to my cousin. So kind of long story short with it is it was a song. So my cousin was a nurse for the NHS over here. And she was quite high up nurse. Her job was training nurses, all this kind of thing, but also she during COVID, her job was literally turning people over, literally just helping them breathe by making them sure they actually could. And it took a massive effect on her, which I'm not surprised. So, I mean, that can't be easy. And sadly, kind of took over, the demons kind of took over in the kind of all that. She then tried to, her and my mum were really close. They were like sisters because she was similar age, but they were really close. No one knew, like very small circle knew that she was struggling. They reached out to my mum and were like, listen, we need you to be together because she needs your help, essentially. My mum went down, and on like the Sunday, my mum came back, and my cousin Steph was like, I'm going to do better. Like I'm going to work to being better. So it was for her, it was alcohol, and she was like, I'm going to get better. And she tried to stop cold turkey, which sadly it was like the odds weren't high, but I can't remember how much longer after that, but like a week later, Steph passed because she tried to stop cold turkey. She her body couldn't reach. So I always said that her mind never gave up, but her body did. So she was wanting to get better, but her body couldn't take the sudden change. So I, for like a year, just didn't know how to deal with that. And then eventually I wrote Sunflowers. And I kept in contact also with my family. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't crossing any boundaries or anything like that, And we ended up we made the charity T-shirts and the song and stuff. And we ended up raising £600 for charity just from those, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So it was a nice kind of, and one thing that's always nice is at the shows, the reception of the song is always really nice.
Yeah.
It's always, there's always crying. There's always I've had people come up and hug me after it. I've had, it's the song that I use to make sure people know, essentially, you don't know what someone's dealing with, and that really we should all just be
It's a mental health song, really.
like you've got to be be a shoulder to people to cry on, kind of thing. Don't allow people to suffer in silence. Just be there for people, and I definitely think it's it's a favorite because it's personal. It brings across that.
It touches people in many ways that you wouldn't expect to.
And everyone knows somebody that's struggling, so therefore everyone can relate to it. My favorite part about it, when we recorded it with Steel City Studios down in Sheffield. We recorded the guy there, Cal Benson. He had this idea. We said one day if we got big enough, we would love to have a choir sing it. And he, within 2 minutes, was like, "Give these guys a call, see what they say." And it was the Sheffield Medics university choir. So
Perfect,
which was perfect for the fact medic and all that stuff. They came down to the studio and recorded a choir bit, which you can hear at the end. And then on top of that, I was speaking with my cousin's daughter, and we found, believe it or not, an old ice bucket challenge video from those days on Facebook. And if you listen to the song, before the choir kicks in, when the vocals go out and you hear a female's voice, that's her voice from that challenge, that video. And we're able to integrate all that into the song.
It counts us in.
Yeah, so when it's live, we play it live, we've got that on a track so that it can be heard. So the reaction to it is brilliant in the sense we've been able to raise money. And I think it's a song that I would say I've had the most people come up to me after hearing it and say that it's
touched them.
Yeah, related to them, and that's the one they've walked away remembering, which is, for me, amazing.
That's absolutely incredible. I know, when I listened to it, it definitely gave me goosebumps, and it's definitely something that I can relate to because I've had family members deal with stuff and struggle with some stuff, and I've struggled with stuff. I've struggled with a little bit of depression. So I could definitely relate to that.
I think it's one of these songs that everyone can,
and it touches the whole band as well.
Oh yeah,
we all have a special feeling towards that song in our own way, so it's really nice to play live.
The best thing about it now is it's good for me to be able to sing it now and not cry. It's it was an ongoing thing where I would sing it, and because it's obviously so personal to me, I would always turn to my drummer, and it was always the same point of the song. And it's when obviously Steph's voice kicks in, and I always turn and just look at him, and he looks at me, and I just, we just say, "I'm all right," and he gives me that nod, being like, "You can do it," and that's always nice for me because I'm like, cool. The hardest time to sing it was when the first time I performed it in front of my cousin's daughter and my cousin's husband. He is a husband, when I performed it in front of them and my mum. It was the first time that they three ever heard it. And we were performing it, and that was so difficult. I was crying like mad. I was so glad that, I will say, our bassist Jack, he knew he was on standby. He didn't tell me, but he knew that this was going to be a massive deal for me. So he knew that if I was going to cry, he was ready to take over the reins and just start singing it, and he did, and I appreciate that massively because it was, it's just overwhelming. But it's the best one we've ever done for me, though, was we played in Aberdeen, and I do this speech before it where I explain the song and everything like that, and the story, and the whole crowd in Aberdeen sat down on the floor and just sat. So we were sitting on stage together. There's a really cool photo of us, and I'm explaining the story, and the whole crowd just sat down with us, and that was one of the best moments I've ever had on stage because it was just so cool. I've never had that before.
The whole room was feeling it.
Yeah, 100%. It just shows how good a song it is. It doesn't need to have a billion streams, but every single person that's heard it, as I say, they can relate and it means something. And that's, in my opinion, just makes it as good as it is. It can't be topped that way.
That's incredible, and that's a nice reminder of just how incredible the alternative music scene can be.
Yes. 100%.
And that's why I'm very fortunate and blessed and grateful and all that to be part of it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So who would you say your biggest influences are?
Oh, this is kind of what makes this band so good. Is we're so different. In the sense that my influences are very different to his, and the drummers is very different to that, and the bass. So for me personally, I'm Danny. I'm the front man. I cannot play guitar. I would love to. I've tried. My whole thing is performing, is entertaining. That's who I am. So for me, my influences come completely out with the pop punk scene. I massively take inspiration from the likes of Robbie Williams, from Michael Jackson, from Danny O'Donoghue from The Script. These people that essentially control a crowd. That to me is awesome. I love that. And then so for me, the pop punk style is awesome because I get to run about and I also get to control a crowd and stuff like that. Pop punk influences wise, I'm a big fan of like your Neck Deeps, Hot Mulligan, big fan. All these kind of, I would say more the modern style pop punk more. I do like though, like your Simple Plan, love Simple Plan, all that stuff. But I would definitely say if people watch me, a lot of influences come from the entertainer side more than the music side. But if I were you for...
Yeah, so I'm Cal, play guitar and without trusting the odd backing vocal. My influences are basically from like Neck Deep is kind of probably my biggest musically, like in terms of like writing and that kind of side of it, and really like just really awesome guitar players. Like there's a guitar player in the kind of prog metal scene called Pliny. Don't know if you know, but his kind of style of guitar I kind of try to integrate into the kind of pop punk side of it a wee bit, just to kind of give that bit more of a flair to it. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix was a massive influence growing up. That's kind of those virtuoso guitarists, I guess you could say. And again, Hot Mulligan as well.
Yeah,
it's a favourite for probably the whole band, I'd say. And yeah, just great bands are as my influence really. Like I'll listen to genuinely anything.
Yeah,
from like EDM to like
country,
jazz, country,
love country,
pop
country's
punk, obviously.
So awesome.
But
we literally today, it's been a really sunny day here as in Edinburgh, and me and Cal have had literally country music on all day.
Yeah,
just chilling along to country style.
I quite like that because it kind of adds subconsciously into your music the kind of a little bit of difference.
Yeah,
I feel, but yeah, that's kind of my basic influences.
So if you could tour with one of them, which one?
That's
right. Let's think this through. So Neck Deep would definitely be up there.
I think it'd have to be Neck
Probably
Deep.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I went and seen Simple Plan recently when they were in in Glasgow, and the stage show was phenomenal. Like watching it, and I was like, I would love to do that. But yeah, I
think the Wonder Years for me, that's another big influence for me. Just because they've got such great music.
I think it would have to be. It would have to be Neck Deep.
It would have to be Neck Deep because
I think it would have to be Neck Deep.
We all kind of
vibe with it.
Fanboy over Neck Deep all the time. So yeah.
Good choice. Can't go wrong with Neck Deep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how's the pop punk scene in Edinburgh? Do you guys have a favorite local band, a favorite venue?
So Edinburgh wise, not great.
Edinburgh is quite quiet in terms of pop punk.
Yes, it's much
as
more
far as we know. There might be some. I'm pretty sure there's not, but there might be some pop punk band we've not heard of. But
I can only think of from Edinburgh. I can only think of two, which is us and a band called Happy Days, who toured with Neck Deep. Funnily enough, but the pop punk scene's more. I would definitely say more Glasgow. Edinburgh's a lot more indie.
Yeah.
Venue-wise, in Edinburgh, there's a venue called Legends. It used to be called Opium. It's now called Legends.
That's kind of a rock metal kind of.
That's
bar,
pretty much the only place. Yeah.
Which does do quite a bit of pop punk. So we've played there a million times.
Yeah.
But
great sound
but yeah, Glasgow's where it is in terms of pop punk.
Local band, you're looking at Worthless. These guys. A band called Misplaced as well. Misplaced. They've got a really kind of unique style. There used to be a band called Woes. Woes were
They were
really
Edinburgh.
good. They were Edinburgh, and they were really good, but they no longer exist. And then for Glasgow venue, I don't know. I like playing King Tut's. King Tut's
I think
always
the
fun.
Garage. The
Garage
Garage is a good venue for pop punk, but I'd say my Worthless are probably my favourite local band, although they're breaking out quite a bit now.
Yeah, they're doing really well.
Doing well.
They're growing every day.
I'm with you on Woes. They were sick. I was sad that they broke up.
We love Woes.
So honestly, we played with them before they broke up. I literally moved. I was meant to be going on holiday to Rome, and ended up going on. I moved the holiday just so we could play that show. Rome was another band we played with, though.
Oh yeah,
they
we
were
played
awesome.
to Rome a couple.
Love that. We played Rome on their.
Well.
We played with them on their goodbye tour, and again in our old band, and that was awesome. Yeah, those I would say them. Yeah, I definitely love. I still listen to Woes now, and they broke up years ago. I still listen to them, and I'd say Worthless are a band that
you need to look out for.
Yeah,
I know you've heard of them, but everyone listening, go listen to Worthless.
They're awesome.
Right on. So now I'm going to ask you guys a couple non-music questions. This is what I do with all the bands. It's a great way for me to get to know you guys, not just like as a band, but as people as well. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, first one, favorite book.
No,
you're talking the wrong. You're talking to the wrong people.
No, wait. There was a book that. There's a book. The thing is, this is annoying for me. There was a book I read in school, right? And I think it was called Goal, but I don't remember the name of it. And it was this book about, and this is why it's because the story I remember, right? This book that I loved was all about this kid who was in a coma. He'd been like at the start of the thing, he gets hit, and it was him playing with his dog and got hit by a car. And they tried getting him out of this coma. They brought even his biggest football fan, like he was Chelsea fans. They brought Gianfranco Zola was the player that was the big player at that point. Brought him in nothing. And at the very end, his dog they bring the dog in, and the dog wakes him up because the dog licks him and he wakes out of the coma. And I loved that book so much. I don't remember the name of it, but the story has forever remembered like in my head. And I read that in like, I don't know, primary 5, which year 5 of whatever school it is. So I don't know how old I would be. Maybe 8, 9. So that would be mine. Don't know the name of it though.
Mine is it's a non-fiction book. I read it years ago when I was really into science. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson's book, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. That's a pretty nerdy answer, but I really enjoyed it. It wasn't too long. You're not talking to the biggest readers here, I would say, but that's probably the best answer I could give for that.
Also, Jeff Stelling, I read a few autobiographies. So there's a football commentator or presenter called Jeff Stelling. His was really good. Fabrice Muamba was a footballer who died and then came back to life. Died in the pitch and they resuscitated him. His book was really good. And currently I'm trying to get the Carlo Ancelotti, who's the Real Madrid manager. I really want his autobiography. That's the next book. Funny enough, yesterday messaged my girlfriend. I was like, this is the next book I want. So I want to read that.
That would be sick. I have a lot of respect for him in Real Madrid.
Yeah, 100%. It's the eyebrow. But in my opinion, like obviously we're Scottish, and Sir Alex Ferguson, football-wise, is top manager. I can't lie, Ancelotti in my eyes is slowly taking him over. Do you know what I mean? Like, as the greatest manager of all time. He just, I don't know, he's phenomenal. Yeah. He's just so good.
Yeah, it's painful for me to say it because I'm a Man U fan and Sir Alex is my guy, but I mean, you could definitely make an argument for it.
Yes, 100%. I agree with that. That's literally the conversation I was having yesterday is at what point does he eclipse him? And Sir Alex done miracles with that. You know, you look when he started at Man U to where he finished, miracles. But I'm just like, what Ancelotti can do with like any team. I mean, when he went to Everton, even Everton done better than what we expected. And like, see, that Real Madrid squad, I mean, yeah, they've got the money and they've got this and that, but I'm like, they just almost look unstoppable. And then next season they are going to be unstoppable. So, and I'm a more Barcelona fan.
You still have to coach him. Like, you still have to have like a decent manager, and you still have to coach him. And
I think that's something that I learned. Like, obviously, a lot of people say that about Pep, obviously Pep can buy success. But I think anyone that realizes now, if you look at Chelsea, how they bought all these players in the summer and spent all this money, spot on. You need to have somebody that can manage them. It's all fair and well being able to pay all this money, but you can buy the best players in the world. You need to be able to make them play together. And Chelsea have shown that that is actually much more challenging than what people expect. So no, I'd say I am definitely going to.
And all that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to read Ancelotti's book. I think I really want to.
All right, so if you guys could go back in time and talk to one world leader or person of influence, who would it be?
Oh, Michael Jackson. Does that count? He's person of influence.
Yep.
I would. Oh, I think. Oh, would I? I. Oh. Yeah, I'm going MJ. I would love to have a chance to speak to him. I think I did a dissertation when I was in college. My dissertation was on Michael Jackson's life. And I would love to get the truth about everything. So I'm going to MJ.
Could I pick Jimi Hendrix?
I do with music.
He's pretty influential.
He had a giant impact on society.
Yeah, I would just love to pick his brain and see how he done what he done, because I'm still trying to emulate him a wee bit. But if
you go back further, just as this is the
Beatles.
No, I'm not even thinking music. I'd love to go back to like the Pharaoh. Do you know, like the Pharaoh back in ancient Egypt, and be like, how did you do?
That's a great one.
Like, how did you do what you did? Like all that stuff. That would blow my mind. I'd love to know the actual truth. How the pyramids were built, the Sphinx, all that stuff. I want to know the truth about that.
That's a great.
That's a completely different answer. You're the first ones that have said that.
Come on,
yeah, done.
Proud of it actually.
I like it. Shake things up a little bit. All right, last question. What are some places in Edinburgh that visitors should check out?
Ooh. We were talking about this today, actually. This is exactly the castle. The castle's nice.
You gotta see the castle.
Yeah, you've gotta. There is a street. There's literally it's a famous picture where there's a bank just off Princess Street, and on the side of the wall it has a picture of the castle, and the amount of tourists that take a photo with that picture, when literally if they look to their left. The real castle's right there. They'll take a photo with the picture instead. I'd say the castle. And,
Bobby.
Yeah. Or if you're a Harry Potter fan, you can go to Tom Riddle's grave. Like the whole Harry Potter, and learn all that. Because I think a lot of characters actually come from this cemetery that's up there with like that.
What about like the links?
Yeah, like the links.
So there's a links kind of big grassy field where people lie in the sun. Mm-hmm. That's quite nice.
The meadows the same. It's like a nice area.
It's very nice.
It's just nice to chill. So yeah,
there's a million bars which are lovely.
Yeah, and of course, there's some great restaurants, and great like the city centre is
6 by Nico.
That's good. I'd say
Gotham's
is really nice. Salty's and Scram Bistro are all my top ones.
There's a million. There's so many places.
So no, there's quite a few. There's I think. What I would say is Princess Street's one of these streets which was like the shopping centre. It was like it used to be the best thing. It's kind of, I would say, losing its appeal, shall we say.
I think because other places are kind of getting a bit more investment and a bit more...
Like Cotton Hill. Oh, Arthur's Seat. How could we miss? Arthur's Seat. It's an extinct volcano that's in the middle of the city. I've got a great view of it from my window. Climate. It takes like an hour to climb. It's not massive. It's not. I mean, it can be challenging depending on where you go.
You get a great view of the city.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of city.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's also really good. Last night, just as something that did happen, last night the Northern Lights were visible. So if you climbed Arthur's Seat or if you went down by the beaches, I went down by the beach yesterday. Got some amazing photos. That was really cool to see that in person.
Well, maybe when I get over there, you guys can show me around.
100%.
It's on my bucket list. I really want to go to Scotland.
Yeah, you should come.
Definitely come over.
We'll come visit you too.
Hopefully, yeah, I'd love to.
Get some
You're
heat.
always welcome to stay at my place. I can show you guys around Hershey, and then maybe go on a road trip to like, Philly or Pittsburgh. I mean, it's a little bit of a trip.
Sign us up.
2 hours, 3 hours, but just take the train there and back, and then we're good.
Sign us up.
We'll take you up on that offer.
We will. We are not.
No,
we have
posted.
We have. I think that's one thing that has been good with me. So when we went to Sheffield to record, I met somebody called Fergus 10 plus years ago.
Shout out to Fergus.
Yeah, love Fergus. And I'll explain more about it when I say it. But I met him maybe 10 plus years ago. I must have been maybe 12 years ago in Tunisia on holiday. And the only reason I met him was because he was wearing, one of us was wearing a Hibs top, which is the local team in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Was wearing that, and we had it was one of these kid things where the kids go and play football. He was wearing a Hibs top, and I met him, and we spoke. And then we kind of just kept in contact over the years. He's a massive pop punk fan. He is also a massive country fan.
Yeah.
But
tattoo artist.
He's a great tattoo artist who ended up doing. I've got Squirtle here.
His own.
Yeah, he's got. Me and Cal are the least two tattooed from the band, but he now does other tattoos. But I had not seen him in 10 plus years. Where I reached out and I said, "Hey, remember you once said that we could sleep? I could sleep on your couch if I was ever down." He was living in like Chesterfield, so it was 20 minutes out of Sheffield. I was like, "Would you be all right if I and the band come down?" Who had never met them before. And the guy is a hero, and I think every time we've went down to record now, we have stayed just in his house, like on his couch, on his air mattress.
Yeah,
like he's a top fella. So when you make an offer of you can crash at the house, be careful. We do too. It may be 10 years from now, but I remember and I'll take you up on it.
Oh, absolutely. My house is always open to bands. I've already had a bunch of bands stay here and play acoustic shows here. So if you ever want to play an acoustic show here, if you ever want to stay here, like just let me know, and it's all yours.
Okay, let's find out how much flights are.
Yeah, the flights.
I mean, trust me, I know what it's like to have a hard time finding places to stay. Like while I'm on tour, I did a couple of European tours through This Is Pop Punk Promotions back in 2014 and 15. I remember sleeping in vans and sleeping on dirty stages. So it's I get it. Like when I say get it, I truly get it.
Yeah,
it's exhausting.
It's a lot.
But it's the thing is you're following your dreams, and it's I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. Yeah.
It's part of the fun. I mean, when we played, we
always have
London.
a laugh.
We did a show where we played. We always do really. We have this thing where we somehow like to book two shows on the opposite side of the country and make it work. So we played Aberdeen one night and then played London the next night, and we booked two hotels so that we could literally just stay over and just go down. It was like, listen, we'll sleep in the hotel for a little bit and then we'll sleep on the train because that's where the journey is going to be. So, yeah, I think when you're in music, you've got to learn to sleep in the most awkward positions.
Yeah.
Because
you sleep anywhere.
It's part of the fun. Yeah, it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on and chatting up a little bit. The support means the world to me.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime, man.
100%.
Anytime. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, because you're doing us the favor.
Yeah,
man, 100%.
This is cool.
So for the people that are going to watch this later, where can they find your music at?
So we've got Spotify. We've got 3 tunes. We've got Creature, which is our first one. We've got Car Crash the second, then Sunflowers is currently out as well.
Got some things in the pipeline that might be coming out soon.
Maybe. What I would say is the best thing if you want a good chance is if you go on YouTube, there is a cover of us doing What's New Scooby-Doo. And if you start watching, we were dressed up, and if you start watching that, if you watch that, then you watch the Creature video, and then you right after that watch the Car Crash video, you'll see a pattern. And hopefully, together. So the idea is by the end of the potentially this year, you never know. The idea is, so Sunflowers is kind of separate because it was a charity song, but the 4 kind of songs that we're kind of working on, 2 that are unreleased yet, hopefully all will lead up to meaning that you can watch from Scooby-Doo, watch all the videos, and they will all be one massive video. That's the game plan.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's a good way to
But you can find us on Instagram, Without Trust Band, is it?
Without Trust Band. You've got Facebook, TikTok.
We've got a Twitter.
We do have Twitter, but we don't
Without Trust UK on Twitter. If you want to follow us.
Without Trust UK on TikTok as well. We've got a link tree. So yeah, there's loads of places.
Probably Instagram's the best.
Yeah, Instagram's the top one probably. Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. Those are the three.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Go listen to their music, buy merch, and support local music.
Preach.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you.
I really appreciate you guys again coming on, and I hope you guys have a great day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much.
See you later.
Later.
Bye.